Greetings, divine souls. I greet in the name of our Father, Mother God, plus all the divine light kingdom. For all the words that you're going to listen to, in case they don't listen it with your heart, I ask you to discard them or use them to jumpstart the truth that is within your being. Today's reading is from the Arcturian group. It was like this. Greetings. Welcome, dear readers and listeners. Uh, Trust that all is proceeding according to plan, even if the outer scene does not seem to reflect that at this time. As the ascension process brings increasingly more high resonating energy to Earth, it affects everyone because everyone is a spiritual being. As individuals spiritually awaken, their minds and heart automatically begin to open to new levels of awareness. Many are starting to question laws, rules, authority, figures, ideas, and common beliefs, etc. That is, that they previously accepted as being right, proper, and even spiritual. The passing of England's monarchy will open the way for new energies and ways of thinking regarding monarchies. Many are beginning to realize that the concept of a monarchy in any country is absolute odd energy. As increasingly more individuals involve and begin to embrace the truth of their personal power, the need for monarchies, dictatorship, and position of power over will no longer exist. However, the collective must support these things in order for them to dissolve into the nothingness of the past. Monarchies arose out of a very old belief system. Uneducated and simple people in the past were repicking for those who loved power because they were unaware of their own inner spirituality. The majority believed what they were told, that they needed someone stronger, better, or holier to make rules and tell them what to do. Into this void stepped the church and the monarchy, often working in tandem. As church leaders discovered the ego and financial gratifications of having power over others, churches and the monarchies became increasingly more powerful, power-hungry, and warlike, rather than guiding people for their own good as they proclaim. They often cruelly dominated the people through made-up laws and regulations that served only themselves in the name of God. Still today, many leaders in so-called democratic countries enjoy having the sense of power over others, being in charge and making laws for those who elected them in the first place. It is time for all that to change, because the new and higher energies of light will not support ideas of separation. However, since consciousness is the substance of form, the majority consciousness must cease feeding the energy to these absolute concepts if new and higher ways are to manifest. Love uh, is Love is nothing more than the reality of one God expressing itself as it is, and through infinite form and variety, is the key that can and will unlock the personal and global freedom, but love must be consciously recognized. Duality and separation beliefs have resulted in a plethora of false concepts about love, leaving much of the world confused and suffering the consequences of these false beliefs. Once God is realized to be omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient, individualized, and fully present within every individual. Previously embraced rules, rituals, rites, prayers, that in reality are players, begging, spreading and bowing down to some concept in the sky becomes obsolete. These are beliefs that are now being questioned, uh, though about and examined by increasingly more individuals, simply because they are discovering that this concept no longer resonates as truth. Chaos is breaking apart many of the old physical, emotional, and mental structures that have been long held in place throughout a universal belief in them. As familiar structures begin to crumble personally and globally, it brings tremendous fears and resistance to those who rely upon them as their fundamental belief system. Change is coming. Be prepared for new and higher resonating energies to penetrate every aspect of the world. It is already happening. All to your center, your divinity, remembering that the only reality is God, who is closer to you than breathing. We have said these things before, but they need repeating because so many have gotten lost in the gloom of the daily news and of the world activities. Remember, when you get caught up in the three-dimensional scene, you perpetuate it because consciousness is the substance of form. Consciousness is the doorway to all manifestation, good and bad, good or bad, because manifestation expresses as form, or I mean, expresses as form. Divine consciousness is the only consciousness, but that which I hold as truth and reality in my personal consciousness, which is the one divine consciousness individualized, I automatically create. The intellectual knowledge of truth cannot manifest outward, which often causes confusion for serious true students who believe that because they are not demonstrating their truth knowledge, that they have been failed. Intellectual knowledge is only the first step. Truth must become a realized state of consciousness before it can be manifested outward, because consciousness is the creative substance. Example, you wouldn't even consider going into a store and stealing because you have a conscience of honesty. However, there are those who intellectually know stealing is wrong, but they are unable to resist the temptation because honesty has not yet become their state of consciousness. Examine what you still hold as truth or reality in your consciousness. When problems arise, ask yourself, what am I believing that is manifesting in this way or making me feel this way? And begin to change your beliefs about it. Consciousness is not intellectual knowledge. Consciousness is the essence of your evolution state. That which you are, your being, your life. As you evolve and move more deeply into truth, your consciousness, which is the one divine consciousness individualized, is able to more fully express itself. You can never get wisdom, knowledge, peace, harmony, because these qualities are already fully present within your consciousness. Evolution is about getting out of the way. Clearing is the process of removing the layers of falsehood from one's consciousness that have been formed over time through many lifetimes lived in three-dimensional energy. Every person has different types of layers. Some are thick, some are thin, and some are glued tightly. The process of removing these layers can be, or often is, very painful because individuals become accustomed to and comfortable with their creation. An intensified clearing process is taking place at this time. Allow all your pretty bubbles to burst, dear ones, and you will discover that a whole new world exists outside of them. We are the Arcturian group. Namaste.